Hi, gang.
Hello.
Oh, there's Gord and Rosalind and Arnold, and there's all of Derek. Get to see Derek's face. Not all of Derek. Derek told us a story where he got to see all of someone recently. And
when he says all, he means all.
Yeah. Good to see you, Bruce. Glad you're here. Oh, and there's our friend Joy. And Eileen, I didn't say hi to you. Hi, Eileen.
Hi, Rabbi.
Glad to see you. Okay.
Thanks for getting up so early to be with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know, you have a lot to do to set up before we even get here, so I appreciate that.
I do, and it's good. It's good. Hi, Barb. Hi, Jocelyn. And I saw, who did I see who I didn't say hi to? Chris Ann. Hi, Chris Ann. Good stuff. All right. Hi, Betsy.
Hi.
Hello, Joy. Uh-oh. Something has gone wrong on my end.
Sorry that I have muted myself and stopped my video because I'm going to be doing a lot of walking around during this service and I don't want it to be distracted.
Very good. I don't know who said that, though.
Margaret.
Good for you, Margaret.
Oh, good. We
Joy
know.
is back answering you because I was muted the first time I tried to answer you.
Well, hi, Joy. Thank you for unmuting yourself. And hello, Emily. Glad to see you. And Jeff, I apologize, Jeff, but I'm doing the announcements today because I didn't have time to write them up. Good.
I could always just do last week's announcements again.
Most of it hasn't changed. Or you could just make stuff up. And there's Frank. I saw Frank for a moment. There's Frank. Hi, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. And Bobby and Bob and James and Linda, who's just still connecting. There's Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Well, this is good. All right. Well, we are almost... Oh, we are past 8 o'clock. My goodness. Let me start us officially by saying hello. This is October the 2nd, 2021. This is actually the service number. This is our 75th Saturday service. Which is really cool. And if you're watching at home or you're watching this later, it's not just me who's here. Hold on. Here are my friends. I have friends. No, that's not them. Where are my friends? Oh!
Really subtle.
What am I, chopped liver?
Okay, well, hold on, guys, because I practiced this earlier. Oh, just give me a second. I shared the wrong screen. All right, so I'm going to share Zoom. Here are my friends. No, that's not my friends. Here are my friends. They're the friends. Hi, friends. Everyone say hi. I know there are people who watch this.
Watching or listening.
Yeah. Hello to everyone who's watching or listening after the fact.
Hello.
Glad that you're here. Let me get my screens all right. I'm Rabbi Brian. Saturday service. Oh boy. Alex, remember I was telling you about the key issue I was having?
Yes.
Apparently it's affecting other things. And hello, Rosa, and hi, Frank and Anne and Candy and Afia and Robin and Ron and Rita and Linda, and insert your name here and pretend I just said it. If I missed you, I apologize. I'm glad you guys are all here. This is the Saturday service. Let me just take a moment, make sure I got my screens right. This is... Right, that's me sharing my notebook, and here's me sharing all of you. Okay, we are live. This is happening. Let's take a breath of air. And you know what happens if we all take a breath of air together? Okay, everyone breathe in. And then notice naturally the air wants to go out. Don't pay any attention to the exhales. I just want us to inhale today. We'll get to exhales next week. So just inhale. I find if you try to teach people too many things at once, it just overwhelms them a little bit. So let's just work on inhales today. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay.
None whatsoever.
And there's a great, just because I'm a total nerd, you know the word conspirator? It means with breath. It's the people conspirit with breath. So we are conspiring here. What we are conspiring to do, I think, is to have a religious service, a spiritual religious service. And what that means is just a time for us to connect, a chance for us as human beings who do a lot of Zoom, for us to connect on a personal level. And if you're new to this service, I like to have people's microphones unmuted so that if you want to say something, you can. If you're listening to this later, you can also say something. Just the chances of us hearing you is we're not going to hear you. So we're here to be together, and let's take a moment to reflect. There was some homework from last week, and if this is your first week here, you are exempt from the homework. Congratulations. If you were here last week, there was a bit of homework, and I'm going to start. Oh, and hi, Rags. Hi, Emily. Glad to see you guys. And hi, Anne's cat. I saw your cat's there too. This is I was a high school math teacher for 7 years after dropping out of being a regular rabbi, and I'm going to ask a question that always made people uncomfortable. Who remembers? Show of hands. Let me see. Who remembers that we had homework? Okay. Keep your hands up if you could articulate what the homework was. There was more than one piece of homework. Did anyone able to articulate? I might not have been very clear. Anne, what do you have? What'd you get for us? What were we supposed to do this last week?
See if you can see complaints as commitments.
Yeah. There was this really bizarre thing that a teacher of mine named Dave Ellis taught me, which was that if you look at a complaint the right way, you can see a commitment in it. And sure enough, and I had promised each of you that in this last week someone would complain about something you were doing, and I asked you to think, can you unpeel their complaint? Because if they complained, they at least cared enough to say something. Right? I'm going to jump us into some. We haven't done this one in a really long time. Folks, I'm pretty sure you might be able to say this word. Let's all say this word at the same time. Ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3, go.
Rawr.
Rawr. And rawr was an acronym for different qualities of love. And we haven't done this topic for a really, really long time. Today's going to be Mega Review Day. Anyone remember what the different 4 qualities of love are? Anyone get the first?
Recognize.
The first part of love is to recognize. You cannot love someone if you do not see them. And that's what that's what's going to tie us back into complaints. If you ignore someone, you're not going to, if you don't care at all, it's apathy. There's no love in it. There's no commitment. So before we get to commitments as the commitments within a complaint, let's just go back through. Love is made out of recognize. You have to see someone, and then there's an A. What is love within?
Accept.
You have to accept them. You have to say, I accept you as you are. I see you. I accept you. And then there's
Understanding.
And then there's understand, which is empathy, which is saying, I accept you and I understand. I might not have done what you did, but I understand why you did it. And then finally, the 4th quality of love, which then branches into 5, 6 different things, is
Respect.
Respond.
Respond. That's good. is respond is that love is an action verb. It's not just something we do up in our heads, that you actually have to do something to recognize, accept, understand, and respond. Oh, this would be a really good time for me to say, keep a piece of paper and a pen with you, because there might be some little wisdom biscuits you want to pick up and keep with you for the week. Oh, who did the bonus points? Thank you, Hannah. So I used to train my classes. I would say, I have a bit of wisdom, or I have a wisdom biscuit, and they would all have to say, yummy. We're not going to do that. Should we do that today?
Yes.
All right. Got it. You might be picking up little bits of wisdom. Anyone who wants? And I will tell you a little secret. I know that there's a thing when you teach adults. Adults hate to be treated like children. And adults hate not to be treated like children. Think about Disneyland, folks. They make a lot of money off of adults getting a chance to be children. Okay, so our homework was to see if we could take somebody's complaint and turn it into a commitment. And anyone have a total win or a fail that they want to share with the group about that? Anyone have a win or a fail about turning someone's complaint into a commitment? I had somebody email me that they didn't like that I used the word, after the service I send out the 2-bullet summary. And somebody wrote to me and they said, could you please not use the word bullet? We have enough problems with arms and with people fighting. And Hey. It's not a complaint. Can you see where the commitment is under that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's much easier to do in somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Much easier to see how the complaint leveled at them. Well, okay, this person was actually committed to the service. They want to feel like they're a part of it, and they were a little triggered. Okay. Who's got another one? Who's got something there? Okay, we're just all
Triggered by the
I have something.
Go ahead, Bob. And Bob, go ahead, and hopefully we should be able to spotlight you and see you.
Oh, well, I don't need to be spotlighted.
Okay.
I just want to say that my ears weren't working so good before because I thought you said dummy instead of yummy.
And you are correct. I said yummy. Thank you, Bob. We can take the spotlight off of Bob for a moment. I'm trying to turn that into like how that was a complaint or a commitment, and I got nothing on that one. But that's all right.
No,
that's all right.
You committed to let Bob speak.
Here, I did. I'll give you an example in my life. So last week. Oh, and Rosa and Frank, did the gift come in the mail? I'm pretty sure the one did not make it all the way up to Canada yet for Gord and Finn. Rosa, did it come in the mail yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so Rosa and Frank won last week. Last week of the month is Intergenerational Prize Day, and they won these little paradoxicality coins. And Annie came into my office last week after the service, and she said, those are the worst prizes ever in the history. She said, give people cupcakes or shiny stickers. Nobody wants a wooden coin. And I thought, all right, so help me with this one. That was a complaint.
Yeah.
Can you figure out how if you listen to it the right way, that there was a commitment under it?
They wanted them to have a better prize.
She wanted them to have a better prize. She wanted people to feel like they earned something of value.
Yeah. But more that she wanted her dad. She wanted her dad to be giving something that he could be proud of.
Her dad was proud of what he was giving. I think I've changed what you said a little bit, Betsy, to she wanted her dad to look good, and she didn't want her dad to look like a fool giving out horrible prizes.
Yeah.
So, Frank, I owe you a shiny sticker.
I thought they were cool. I thought the coins were cool. So-
They were a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on doing this at this point, but go ahead. Here we go.
To be honest, I was going to superimpose it over a photo and actually try to do cross stitch with it.
Okay, I'll send it to you. So some
Nice
of you
one, Lee.
asked about these coins, and I put them up on Etsy. And so not only is it on
I'll just buy one.
Etsy, but I changed it. It is now on Etsy along with a 13-page PDF all about what paradoxicality is. And I'll show you the PDF in a moment, in a second, if I can get to it. So you get 2 coins plus you get this
That's
beautiful...
when you get 2 doctors together.
That is a paradox.
Oh.
So there's this
Oh, that's hilarious.
14-page, this is
Oh
all
my
about
God.
paradoxicality. It's
That
an
jokes.
article that I wrote, which was published in Presence magazine back in the day. I re-edited it to keep it present. Anyway, so if you would like to buy a set of coins and get Rabbi Brian's notes on paradoxicality, Alex, would you put in the chat how people can get to that?
Yes,
And let me
I-
thank Alex for doing technical stuff. Lee is transcribing always. Joe's moderating the chat. And so thank you guys. This is how this works. This is a community effort. And speaking of community, there are some prayers that we want to say for some people who are not well in our community. And I'm gonna add one in. I don't know how many of you would remember Leanne Hechem. I don't know exactly how to say her last name. That's due to Zoom. I only knew her through Zoom and emails. But Leanne was an older lady who participated in this service, and I found out this week that she passed away. So that's how that is. So special thoughts and prayers for Leanne and those who loved her. And Joe, would you read us a list of the people who we are praying for, or who need some healing and help in this week?
I would love to read that list. Michael B., Theo, Colleen, Steve, Courtney, Scott E., Ken, Brian D., Abbas, Sherry, and then the family and friends of Leanne Heckham and Eileen.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
Let's
welcome.
take a minute, and we'll just take a minute on my clock when I get to 8:15 here on the clock. We'll take a minute of silence and just to center ourselves and to think about those who, just to think.
Yes. Now I'm on bright yellow stage that's gonna make it go blind.
Oh, thank everyone for a moment. Jocelyn, hi. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. Jocelyn, do you mind if I pick on you? You can totally say pass and we'll move on to someone else.
Nah, I'm good. Go ahead.
I didn't know if that's go ahead, move on to someone else, or go ahead.
No, go ahead, pick on me. I'm all right.
Okay, okay. Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi.
How long have you been coming to this service?
Ooh.
A bit.
Yeah, well, on and off, yeah. I think I knew you before you started doing these services, actually. A couple years ago, I was, came into the training with the Oregon Board of Rabbis. And we did a class.
Yes.
Ever since then, I've kind of just followed either you or Rabbi Ariel around.
Nice.
I used to go to Rabbi Ariel's service for a long time until they moved too far away from me, and then I started coming here.
So I have a question, Jocelyn.
Okay.
What is and this is a hard one. Is there a particular lesson or subject that we talked about, one of the things that we talked about that stuck with you that you really liked?
Yeah, actually, there's this, and I'm going to articulate it much different than the way you did, because
Go
this
ahead.
is the
Go
way
ahead.
I
You do it
absorbed
your way. Yeah.
Yeah, just the whole idea of changing the way you think about the issues in your life and turning them into more opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of complaining, it's okay to complain, and it's okay to accept that you're complaining about something, but this is more of a opportunity to change or adjust the way you handle the issue.
Yeah, perfect. That's what this whole service is about. Thank you, Jocelyn. Is that I like the phrase that we can think of our spiritual life as a not as a thermometer, but as a thermostat. Like we can actually make some changes on it. Thank you, Jocelyn, for playing. Is there someone else who's got I wanted us this week to. I do a lot of talking, and I thought I'd ask people like Rita, who and really seriously, I have a problem as an extrovert that I don't quite understand introvert, and not everyone wanting to be talking all the time. So just move me along. Or Rita, tell me, is there something? What's a lesson or something that you took? What's one yummy biscuit, a piece that you've taken from this service?
From this
not
one
today,
or
not
any
today. In
service?
general, yeah.
In general. Love.
Amen. Okay, that's good. Would you like to elaborate a little bit? Love is a good one.
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's ways to connect with the positive within one and others.
Amen. Amen. I love that. And Emily, you have your hand up.
The five characteristics of spirituality.
Yeah, you've enjoyed that. We've talked about the 5 qualities of a spiritual life, and either you or Bernie, could you tell us what those 5 are? Do you remember them well enough?
No, I'm on them.
Okay, you can ask Bernie for help. He's right there.
Bernie, Bernie. I know it's transformation.
Transformation is 1 out of 5. That's fantastic. So that's one of the qualities of a spiritual life is transformation, is knowing that we're not solid. We're not permanent. Our thoughts, our being, our anything, that we're all transforming.
It's not about you.
Oh, that's another one. That's a second thing of a spiritual life, that a spiritual life is marked by non-selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got another one, Emily?
And yet it is about you.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother thing, is that there's paradox, is that it's not about us and it is about us. Those are kind of a 2 for 1. So you're up to 3 out of 5.
Yeah. It's ongoing.
Looks at that. Spiritual life is part of a continuum. It's part of the infinite. My favorite quote from that one is that the people who live on the islands of Hawaii don't think that they're separated by the water. They think they're connected by the water. That we all see that we're connected to things. Can I give you a hint on another one, Emily?
Please.
Do you remember this one?
It's a gradual.
That there's some
hierarchy.
Thank you.
That there's a hierarchy of values in a spiritual life, that we know that love is greater than, well, that's it, love. And then there was another one with a mathematical symbol in it. I bet you know this one too. This is a part of a spiritual life. Do you remember that one?
It's greater.
Questions versus statements.
Yeah, that's part of a spiritual life, is knowing that not knowing it, which is weird, that knowing that not knowing is better than knowing. That's all parts of a spiritual life. Did we miss anything?
I like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's good. We have 5 to 6, and we did them. Oh, I added in love. Good for us.
Yeah. Good.
And hey, Al, you just showed up on my screen.
All right.
I have a question. How are you doing in this world of Zoom fatigue?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I actually celebrate Zoom. It's like, it's a way to stay connected to great friends like you. I mean, we knew each other from childhood, but how would we be connected being so many miles away from each other?
Amen. Amen. So here, that's a question I'm going to open up to the whole group. Folks, what are some of the blessings of this? Wait, now that's weird, and some of you might cringe, but what are some of the blessings of this pandemic? I know we all know the complaints of it pretty well. What have been a blessing of the pandemic?
I was able to get this far through my MBA.
Yeah, amen. That's a good one. Lee, you had your hand up. Thanks, Jocelyn.
Yeah, for me actually, and I was on White Coat Black Art on CBC about this last year, was I find the Zoom meetings and Teams meetings and so on a blessing, because I can't read people. So in Zoom meetings, the expectation is not there to read the room.
That's wonderful. Good. And I see a hand up there for Margaret and then for Hannah.
I'm showing my face for a minute here. These Zoom meetings have been amazing for me. My mother's 96 and in her mid-stage dementia, which means I can go very few places. I cannot go to meetings like I used to. My life is totally tied up with her. And so these Zoom meetings are an absolute blessing. I've been able to go to conferences that I wouldn't have been able to attend.
Amen.
So for every negative, there is a positive. And I'm going to hide again because she can come in here and cause any kind of disruption during this.
Well, thank you, Margaret, for showing your face for a moment. Hannah, what do you have? What do you got for a blessing of Zoom?
I mean, it's been able to connect me to jobs around the country that I wouldn't have been able to take otherwise.
Wonderful.
And so I've actually have clients now I have clients in New York, I have clients on the East Coast, like in the lower Southeast, and I have clients in Texas, and that's really awesome. That means that I can explore staying home more and still, sustain myself.
I love it. Wonderful. Carol Ann, if you would unmute yourself, which I know you well, so I know that not everyone always wants you to unmute yourself. But I wouldn't know you, Carol Ann, if it weren't for Zoom, so I thank you. What is something that has been a blessing of Zoom, of this?
Well, you first asked about it being a blessing of the pandemic.
I did. Let's go to that.
Yeah, the pandemic stopped me from running from myself and made me stop and get into myself and then hook up in Zoom. So with people like you who are doing this fantastic thing, and it's really helping me.
Amen. Well, wonderful.
And I love connecting to people because I'm an extrovert. So the more friends I have, the better.
Amen. Let me go over this one again. Everyone here has a gratitude practice. Everyone has a gratitude practice, and your gratitude practice, it's simple math. It's the number of times you are consciously thankful. The number of moments in the day that you are consciously thankful. And you subtract from that the number of times, the number of times out of your mouth come complaints. Thankful minus complaints equals your gratitude practice. That's it. And I'm going to go into the details here. This is the number of times you are consciously thankful. It is not the number of times you say something. It's the number of times you notice things are good, minus the number of times you verbalize a complaint. And I'm specific about that because I don't want you to think when you complain in your head, because sometimes you don't have so much control over what's going on up in here. So take it easy on yourself. Number of times you're consciously thankful, minus the number of verbalized complaints equals your gratitude practice. There are two variables here. Variable A, variable B. Variable B, if you want a challenge, I haven't talked about this in a long time. A guy named Dan Bowen came up with something called the 21-day no complaint challenge. Any questions? Every time you complain, you set that timer back and you have to start again till you get to 21 days without uttering a complaint.
Oh, God.
I had a friend and her daughter try that once, and I was really confused by it, to be honest. I thought it was a really dumb exercise.
Yeah, okay. I think that means you should do it.
Yeah.
Right, you're probably right.
Right. I did it. The first time I did it, it took me 4 months till I got to 21 days. I was able to get to 4 days a lot of times. And then it changed my life. Like literally changed my life. Just to notice how many times I was saying stupid complaints that I didn't need to say.
Jess has her hand up.
I'll be there in 1 sec. You wouldn't listen to a news program that you didn't like. So why are you listen? Why are you do? Okay, I'll stop. Go ahead. Who had their hand up? Jess?
That was me. Thank you.
Hi, Jess.
Yes. Oh, am I on mute now?
Yeah.
How do you know it's a complaint versus
Oh, it's a good question.
saying your reality or saying a fact? How do you,
thank you, Jess. So I had to make a judgment call when I did it because I was sitting on a hard metal bench, and I said out loud, "This bench is hard." Now that's a fact, but I knew that the way I said it wasn't just like, this bench is soft, this bench is hard. Like I knew how I was saying it, and I had to dock myself for that. I'm gonna leave each of you in charge of your own. You are your own arbiter on this. I also made the exceptions. Look, there's religion outside the box. Make the rules as you need to. Adjust them. I changed it that I'm allowed to complain to my wife, not at her, but I'm allowed to tell her things, and I was allowed to complain in my therapist's office. Like those were safe spaces. That being said, Betsy has her hand, literal hand and virtual hand, both up. So congratulations, Betsy. What do you got?
Okay, I'm thinking that if virtual gratitudes count, then virtual complaints also ought to count.
Good luck.
When you have interior grumbling and so on. I mean, that's different than noticing something.
I agree, Betsy, but I wanted to be able to have people succeed at this exercise.
Well, also to notice when you have interior.
Yeah, that's fine. Notice that the complaints are happening internally, but like that's Jedi level. We're not up to that, most of us yet. So here's a game we're going to play. We haven't done this in a long time. This is one of my favorite little religion outside the box Saturday service things. Everyone has an electronic device in front of them. How do I know? Because you're watching this service. So I'd like you to take out your electronic device, or you can use your email program, and I'm going to go to my messages app. And I want you to scroll down in your messages app. Scroll down. And then once you're a few pages down, click on somebody.
Oh, this is the worst.
So pick someone and just, I want you to just pick anyone and you write them a little note saying,
Messages. I can't find this.
Oh, it can be an email, Betsy. Just scroll down in your emails until you get to somewhere in July and click somebody. And wherever you click, and I'm sending a note to my friend Melissa, who I haven't been in touch with since September 23. And I'm just saying, I was thinking about you, wanted you to know, grateful you are in my life. So I want everyone to send a message, and you know what? You probably have time to send another one. So send 2 or 3 messages, 1, 2, 3 messages to whoever it is you would like to, who are farther down in your list. And what you're doing right now is you're adding extra thankfulness in your life. How are we all doing on that exercise?
I'm not sure who I just sent a message to, but okay.
Very personal.
Wonderful, wonderful. I would love for you to make a habit of doing something like this. A lot of you know that on Friday nights in my house we do a ritual, the What I Like About You, and from the time we sit before we eat. So in between those 2 times, from the time we sit to when we eat. We didn't do it last night. We watched Ted Lasso instead. But
Yay!
From the time we sit to the time we eat, we go around the table and we tell each other what we like about each other. Just to add in for ourselves a little bit more extra, a little more thankfulness in our life, so that we all know that we're thankful for each other. Maybe now that we're talking about it, we could complain a little bit less. Okay. Good job, gang. I'm going to send you off to small groups in a second, and you're going to have 3 questions to answer in the small groups. And in your small groups, you're going to answer 1, how you've been kind to yourself in the past week. And you cannot say you have not been, because you have been. You just might have to stretch a little bit and come up with it. How you've been kind to yourself in the past week. 1 moment in the past week where you've been kind in the past week. Number 2, you're going to tell the group how you've been kind to someone else in the past week. And number 3, I'm not sharing my screen. You can't see what I'm writing. How you've been kind to yourself in the past week. How you've been kind to someone else in the past week. And number 3, a gift of the pandemic. In a moment, Alex is going pandemic. A gift to the pandemic. In a moment, Alex is going to invite you to join groups. You're going to have 10 minutes in the small group to share with each other how you've been kind to yourself in the past week. You have been. Just figure it out. How you've been kind to someone else in the past week. You have been. Tell us. And one of the gifts of the pandemic. We're going to go into small groups. Alex, are we all set up for that?
Yep. Rooms are open. And
rooms are open. We'll see you in 10 minutes then. I got a little countdown clock here. Oopsie. And looks like Alex, can you help Joy? She's on an iPad.
Yeah, I can help Joy. Hang on 1 second.
And Emily's second one is going.
Yeah, Joy should have received a notification on her screen.
Joy, how you doing, my friend? Well, I see Joy. She might have nodded off.
I was gonna say, I think she might have.
I'm gonna be Jane. Room 8 needs a moment of help. I'll be back. Hello. Oh boy. Hi, whoever's watching this with me. I have put myself in breakout room number 8. because it said James was needing help, and I don't know how to get out of here. Weird. Okay. Well, I can see that people are in all these different rooms. We have 10 different rooms, 11, 12 rooms going right now. And I am in room 8 by myself. Oh, I see what happened. No, I don't. Hey, hi. Whoever I'm talking to. How you doing? I mean, you can answer. And how I've been kind to myself in the past week. How have I been kind to myself in the past week? In the past week, I put myself first in a situation that I really normally would not have. So I was kind to myself in that way. I was kind to my daughter. She wanted me to drive her to school on, that was yesterday, Friday. And there was no reason for me to drive her to school. We live, so I drove her because she asked me to. And it wound up, she got out of the car because it was faster to walk. There was so much bottleneck near the school. So I was kind to her in that. And a gift of the pandemic, I hate to say it, but religion outside the box has been thriving during the pandemic because people, I was doing things on Zoom before the pandemic, and people didn't know how to use Zoom. That was the biggest limiting factor. I couldn't get people to use Zoom. And the pandemic came around, and everyone knows how to use Zoom now. How about you? How have you been kind to yourself in the past week? I feel a little bit like Mr. Rogers in this moment because it's just you and me, but that's all right. And how have you been kind to someone else in this past week? How have you been kind to someone else in this past week? And finally, what has been a gift of the pandemic for you? I'm going to try to get out of this room now. I don't know how to. I really don't. I can't get out of this room. Oh my God, I am stuck and I cannot. Can I make her the host now? Oh my God, I gotta call Alex and have her move me out of this room. Come on. I'm calling Alex because I'm stuck.
You've reached the A-Tailor.
Oh no, come on. Help. Can I text her? Chat? Alex, please. Hello?
Hi, what's up?
I'm stuck in room 8.
And I can't move you because you're the moderator. Come out of the breakout room.
I can't. The only thing I can do is close all rooms.
Yeah, okay. Well, do you want to just stay there and then
I think so. I'll close all the rooms. I'll do that with a minute to go, right?
Yeah, it's 8:43. I think we went in.
Oh, I have a clock on my screen.
Oh, okay. All right. How much time do we have left?
3 minutes and 45, 44, 43. You can see it if you look on the live stream. You can watch me. Oh, and we got a comment again from a friend on Facebook about the name of God is Jesus. Okay, fantastic. I will see you in 3 minutes. This is fun.
Yeah, well, we could just sit here and talk for 3 minutes because there's nobody in the main room.
Hey, Alex, I have a question.
Yes.
How have you been kind to yourself in the past week?
Well, I think I was kind to myself actually with that whole thing with the chiropractor.
Yeah. That was being kind to yourself.
That was kind to myself, and I tried, and I tried to be kind to the chiropractor too.
Yeah. And how have you been kind to someone else? Because I know you have been.
Well, I think again, I was kind to the chiropractor because I could have just canceled the appointment and not said anything. I could have canceled the appointment and called him up and said you're a jerk. And I tried to be kind and understanding of his position, which is obviously not
yours
agreeing with mine.
Yeah, and I think that's a funny one. That the kindness can be not being a dick to someone.
Yeah, I mean, because I really like the chiropractor in terms of his professional, the way he treats me.
Yeah.
But I just, it's like, and I guess and I'm kind of on the fence. I haven't turned him into the county, so.
Well, he was, yeah. I don't know. That's ethics, and that's beyond my pay grade.
Yeah, so I'm letting that one.
Well, that's a weird one of who to be kind to. And then how what's been a gift of the pandemic?
A gift of the pandemic, I think, has been honestly Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, I know there's a certain amount of Zoom fatigue, but I'm going to say that a lot of the people that I've met through the friends of RB Coffee Talk. I mean, I have some buddies that I get to hang out with every day.
It's nice. It's totally nice.
And I like that. And I think the other thing too is that all of this has brought you and I a little bit closer together. Which
a little bit, a lot.
I always thought, God, I really like this Rabbi Brian guy, and I wish I knew him better, but I couldn't figure out a reason to talk to you because I didn't want to bother you.
Yeah, now we get to work together on a huge project. Oh, I'm coming up on a minute. We do, and that's been a gift. That has been an amazing gift. I tell people that, wait, hold on. I'm going to say close all rooms.
Yeah, I already hit it for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, I finally can do it. I can leave breakout room. Oh, am I free? Oh, I'm back, Alex. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Scott. That was funny. When we do you're on mute. When we do the troubleshooting?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't thought about that one.
Well, I think what happened is you went into a room that ended up being empty because people hadn't joined it.
But why couldn't I leave?
I don't know. Because you're the host, I think.
You needed time out.
Just needed a minute, man.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you.
That was perfect.
All right, so this clock can go away. We all did.
That was great. Thank you.
Oh, good, Rob. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah. Only 2 of us got to speak, though.
Okay. Well.
Really? You talked to them?
Of the 4.
Okay.
All of us in our group got to speak. And
us too.
Well, that means
4 out of 5.
You're better people.
That must be it.
That's all I can say.
Obviously.
Yeah. No, so
we ran out of time as well.
I'm sorry about the time. This is sorry if you got cut off and you didn't get a chance to share. Is there somebody who really, really, really is got a burning want to share? You want to share in the big group here?
I think I shared mine. I mean, I didn't share because I'm a facilitator, so I let everybody go before I do.
Okay. Jocelyn, I have a question. How have you been kind to yourself this week?
Who are you asking?
Jocelyn. Sorry, Rosalind, your name rhymed. But you could answer too.
Oh, there's a similar name. Hi, Rosalind. Happens every once in a while. I have actually been struggling because I'm facing severe burnout with my MBA and with my work's doing great, but it's just the light at the end of the tunnel is so bright it's burning me out with my MBA. But I went and I took some advice from some of the people in the on the site that you have, and I went out to Mary L. Young Park with my computer, and I sat there for an hour with some fantastic coffee and just worked through.
I was taking care of yourself. And how did you take care of someone else this week?
My best friend Anne is I think I also mentioned this in the thing. She's
a stroke survivor.
Bound. Yeah, she's a stroke survivor. And she is not able to get out as much because of the issues she's had. So this week I have bought her tickets to the haunted house, and we're all going to fondue for my birthday. And I get to wheel her slowly through the scariest wheelchair accessible haunted house I can find.
Oh, wonderful.
So looking forward to.
Very creative.
Yeah, we've known each other so many. She's like 74 years old, and we're just like the best buds.
Well, thank you, Jocelyn. I'm glad you got a chance to share. I'm going to follow up on what Jocelyn was just saying and make a few announcements. For those of you who are not members of the ROTB Clubhouse, that's what Jocelyn was talking about. You can join the ROTB Clubhouse. You can get to it from rotb.org. There's a link to the Clubhouse. And this last week, we had some wonderful discussion. Not a heated discussion, not an argumentative discussion.
Process of getting rid of stuff because we're moving, and it's a huge job.
Alex, are you able to find that microphone?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. And we had a discussion about the Bible. People presented about the Bible, and it was fantastic. If you want to have a few more friends in your life, join the ROTB Clubhouse. I have a few announcements besides that to make. If you have, show of hands, how many of you have too much to do and you don't have time to do one more thing? Great. So here's an opportunity for you. Every day at 2 o'clock Pacific time, I'm doing an online meditation where it's nothing more to do because we do absolutely nothing during the meditation. So if you don't have time for anything else, try doing nothing with me for 20 minutes every day. I thought that was really clever and funny.
Yeah,
and
nice.
It's hilarious.
Thank you. That's what I needed. A little validation. The next hour is coming up in 8 minutes' time. I turn over all Zoom controls to Alex, and people go into breakout groups. We have Donut World, we have Deep Dive, we have a poetry room, and a Wild West room. If you've never been, it's somewhat like a after-service coffee time. Here's an important announcement. Hey, folks, do you live in Canada? If so... Okay, hold on. If so, take a look in the chat. I'm posting in the chat right now a note that Lee wrote to the producers of Tapestry. And I know a lot of you originally found me from Tapestry.
Don't do that.
I'm just putting in the link, Lee. Here it is. Hold on. I'm trying to...
I want you to pester the crap out of Mary Hines, guys.
There it is. Would you please... Unfortunately, I put it in 3 times. So that means there are at least 3 of you that can use that link. Would you please tell Mary Hines that crazy renegade rabbi is doing some really cool things during the pandemic? They're just putting their shows together for this year. I would really appreciate that. Alex,
I was thinking it was about time you got back on there.
I was thinking that too. So good. We're on the same page. If you listen to Tapestry, tell her that this is something people should know about. I would appreciate that. Alex is going to put up in the chat also a link to my link tree. If you're on social media at all, you can click to find me on any of those. Thank you. And then Oh, James, I see your note. I usually aren't in the chat. The clubhouse, it does look like it's asking you to join. On the top right, it says sign in. I know it's a weird thing. It makes it look as though you need to get a new account each time. But on the top right, it will ask you to sign in, so you can sign in again.
Okay.
Wonderful. Also, we put in the link. There's a email. There's a physical address for our friend James, who we're working on his 4th book right now. If you want to do something of service this week, send James a note. If you think your life during lockdown and COVID is rough, try being in a state prison right now. It's wonderful. If you would write him a note, he loves that. And finally, the Shekhinah group, if you want to get into an argument over what time the Zoom group should meet, or you want to get into a discussion about God, the group does both of those things equally well. That's just how it is. So there's a subgroup of this service who meet to talk about the God word every week. And if you put your name or email in the chat, our friend Rita will find you and add you to that listserv. It's a lively group of people. So if you want to talk more about God, please do that. Also, at this same link that you got to today, on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. my time zone, because for as smart as I am, I cannot time zone. 11 a.m. my time zone on Tuesdays are open office hours. If you have that question, you're like, I always wanted to ask a rabbi this. Here's a good place to do it. It's a small group of people, and it's not broadcast, so you can feel free to be just yourselves. I'm going to ask you. We have a few minutes left, just a few. Get your fingers onto the chat if you would. I think most of you by this time know how to do a chat. I'd like you, don't hit enter until I tell you, but would you just type into the chat one thing that you're taking with you, a moral of the story? What are you taking with you from today's service? So I'll give us another 30 seconds maybe. Type into the chat something that you've learned from today's service, a little moral of the story, a little yum yum wisdom biscuit, something that you take with you today. And then in 10 seconds, we're all going to hit enter at the exact same time, and we're going to see all of these beautiful pieces of wisdom show up in our chats. And ready? Hit enter if you're ready. Hit enter, and here, oh my goodness, look at all these things that are there. Look at all of that. Wow. I see all these things on look at all the, I'm going to read a few out loud for the people who are following along on Facebook or on YouTube. Hey, people on Facebook or YouTube, you could join us. Like, you could be more interactive and join the Zoom group here. So some of the things that were relearned or learned today were that the pandemic can give us gifts that recognize, accept, understand, respond. Just the simple fact that I have friends. Well, that's a good one. The pandemic gave gifts. That thankfulness minus complaints equals gratitudes. That as awful as the pandemic is, it has brought us together. Look at all these things to practice, great reminders about practicing gratitude, that we can find a commitment within a complaint. We'll continue that homework for next week. Oh, I do have another homework for next week. I'll tell you that in a moment. Let me just keep going through. Look at all these beautiful things. How important it is to be kind to others, to pay attention to how much I say things that are complaints. Try to find something to be thankful. Remember the qualities of a spiritual life. Those are great to know. And also, let me remind us, the qualities of spiritual life, we can do all that without that God word. Nothing wrong with the God word, but you can have a beautiful spiritual religious life without that. And I'm going to give you a little piece of homework for next week. Your homework for next week is this. I would like you in the next week, and this is going to go along with gratitude. I want you to notice when you witness moments of kindness. I want you to notice moments of kindness in this world. And I'm making it a homework assignment so that you're looking for it. We're so easily able to be attracted to the crap that I want you to pay close attention to witnessing moments of kindness. And when you witness a moment of kindness, to really underscore it into your brain by saying, oh, I'm going to bring that one with me. And it's going to force your brain, or maybe make you write it down so that you hold on to that moment. I think of life sometimes as a bank. And the more I can add in moments of kindness, moments of gratitude, moments of feeling safe, moments of feeling loved, the more reserves I have for when the shit hits me. So I want you to collect moments of kindness in this next week. I can't guarantee that there will be prizes, and I can't guarantee if there are prizes that they will be of quality that my daughter would appreciate. We're going to end our service here. Stick around for the next hour, but in the meantime, let's give a little wave to the people above you, to the sides, below you, and to all the people at home. Thank you guys for participating today.
Thanks, Rabbi.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rabbi.